What is Lent for? Millions of Christians around the world are entering into a new season of time. It's the season of Lent, and it lasts from Ash Wednesday, which was this last Wednesday, all the way through to the Easter Vigil on Saturday night before Easter Sunday on Sunday. And Lent commemorates a very important time in Jesus' life. Jesus often in the Bible is described as going away and praying by himself, taking moments to really speak to God and to understand what God's plan is for him. But this period of Lent, it's mentioned, the season is mentioned in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and it's a time when Jesus went out into the wilderness for 40 days, when he was fasting and when he was tempted by the devil. And during this time, he began to understand what the shape of his adult ministry was going to be. Now, Lent has many different meanings in many different cultures and places. In church, it's a season when we stop saying the Gloria in the beginning part of the service, when we don't say Alleluia. For 40 days, we don't say Alleluia anymore. The priests and the clergy wear vestments that are purple or which look like sackcloth. Lent is also an important time for us to begin to realize that there is much more to our lives than meets the eye. We have a tendency to get wrapped up in the stories that we hear all around us and to forget that we are children of God. So it's a season when we remember that we are children of God. And part of the way that we do that is by remembering ultimate things. On Ash Wednesday, when people come into church, they receive an ash cross on their forehead. And the priest who puts the ashes on their forehead says, "Remember that from dust thou art, to dust thou shalt return." And it's a way of reminding us that the things that we see and do are all passing, even our lives, and to recognize the value of fully being present in our lives and not just missing our lives because we're too preoccupied with the next deadline or something that was on our schedule. I have a very old friend whose name is Lois, and she has wonderful advice. She says that Lent really should be a time when we learn to pray again. And for her, she says that prayer is what we do when we talk to God and tell God what's in our hearts. And she said that for her, meditation is when she listens to God. And that listening is a really important part of this too. She says that when she was a young girl, that she would go to God with like a memo, kind of like a list, a to-do list for the things that she wanted God to do in her life. And that the older she gets, the more she leaves that behind. And the more she begins to just thank God for her life, to be grateful for the present moment, to be grateful for beautiful things that she may not have noticed, for people in our lives who we haven't attended to or paid attention to. I don't know what you're planning to do this Lent, but what makes Lent real, what makes Lent transformative, is our ability to reconnect with the Maker, the person who loves us more than anyone else, God. It's a time when we have so many new possibilities for changing our lives and beginning to see ourselves in new ways and to experience the people around us in new ways. As you undertake this important journey, my prayers are with you. My name is Malcolm Clemens Young. I'm the Dean of Grace Cathedral in San Francisco, California. Thanks for watching More Good News.